Hi everyone, welcome back to Java 1 for All. In this video we are going to talk about DirectoryStream. I think this is one of the most simple ways for you to get all the data from a specific directory. I mean, all the folders and the files in that directory. But there is one limitation that it works similarly to what we have. For example, if on Linux we use ls or on Windows we type dir. So basically the dir command will list all the files and folders from the directory that you are executing that command. And the directory stream is going to work on the same way. So let's see how it works. Let's create a new class called DirectoryStream test01. And create a main method, and we need a path. So let's say that I want to list all the files and folders that I have in this directory. So paths.get, and since I want the directory I'm currently in, I just have to use dot. So the dot is going to have a reference to the directory that this file is being executed. In this case, the Java 1 for All. Now just create a reference variable, and the directory stream requires something that we didn't learn yet. You see this T? This T means nothing. Actually, the T is just any letter. It could be A, B, C, but it's just a convention that we have in generics saying that this should be the type. So basically, when we are creating this directory string, we have to tell what would be the type of this string. In this case, since we want the path, we are going to create a direct string of paths. So when we talk about strings, we are talking about multiple data, and this means that we have to iterate over to get the results. So let's see how it works. The direct string will be for a path, but you have to be careful because every time you are working with strings and directories, probably you have to close the connection. And if you go back here to direct string, you can see that we have the closable interface. Now, if you have the closable interface, the best way is having the try with resources wrapping this object creation. And here we can catch what probably will have a IO exception. Now, how can we actually create an object? The best way to do it is following the documentation through this new directory string on files. So basically, let's call this path dir, and let's call this string. And to create a string, we use files dot new directory string, asking for the directory. So this is going to return an object that is a directory string, and since this is a string, we can iterate over it. So basically, you can create a for. What's the type of this string? It's path. So we create here a reference variable that's path, and then we tell to iterate over the string. So what the direct string is going to create is like a string where each one of these folders and files, they will become a path. So basically imagine that you have instead of this dot, you have this, for example, dot idea, and then you have here folder and so on. So basically you will get a path for each one of these files and directories that you have in Java 1 for All. How can we print path dot? We can get the file name, for example, get file name. Now when we execute Ctrl+Shift+F10, you'll notice that we have everything, and you cannot see this because it's hidden, but we do have the .git folder. So if I go here, open an Explorer, Java 1 for All, you can see that I have .git. So even the hidden files are being returned by the directory string. So as you can see, we have all the files that we needed, but If you want to go deeper, that is another class that we have to learn. It's something that we are going to use in the next video. That's called simple file visitor. So basically, if you want to go deep and get all the files from, for example, from introduction, and then once you finish listing all the files from introduction, you want to continue to Java core, we have to use a more specific class for that. So let's continue in the next video with something a little bit more funny. See you in there. Bye.